The first video I talked about several nights ago on Wednesday, talked about my beginning journey with NLP, what it meant to me, my weight loss journey, now being 250 pounds, what that means for me, as well as how NLP has really impacted every area of my life, and all the different things that NLP can really assist with. The second video was about communication. Why do we care about communication? What does it mean, the way that we interact with people and our ability to create influence as leaders, being the leader of our own mind and being the leader of our own lives. We talked just briefly about that. This video is going to be a continuum of that, but now I want to share with you some real experiences. I want to share with you people who have come to our 7-day training, not just my experience, but I want you to be able to have other people's experience, no hype, real raw stories about why would they do NLP, why would they take NLP, what would cause them to even be interested in it, what are they doing with it now, how has it impacted their life. And I think one of these people has a very special story, and that story is specifically about an author named David Farland. And David Farland is a world famous writer. He's published more than 50 novel-length works. He's an instructor, a teacher. He's instructed and mentored extremely famous authors, Brandon Sanderson, Brandon Moll, Stephanie Meyer. He's done some incredible work, still teaches today. His website is mystorydoctor.com. You can find him there, and you can also find me on his website, as I'm also a coach working with writers and writer's block. But I want to share with you, he had a cool experience with NLP, and I wanted to share with you, why would a world famous author who's already made it, he's making money, he's doing his workshops, life is good, why would he care about NLP? What could he possibly gain? Especially an author, right? Really a master of language. So what was it that piqued his interest? Why did he see the value? What would cause him to look at it? So I want to share that story with you. We've got him on a video, and I'm going to go ahead and play that video in just a moment. So you're going to be able to see what was it for David Farland that caused him to be interested. World famous author. What was his experience? Let's check out what it really meant for him and why he would even care. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Let's go to that video now. Here we go.
Okay. Well, that's fairly simple to talk about. I became interested in neurolinguistic programming because I understand how much language influences our life. As an author, that's what I work with, is words. That's the words and sentences, and telling stories and putting things together is really what I spend my entire time doing. And so I think I really became interested in it in part because I was feeling blocked on a particular book that I was working on. And I just kept on trying to write that book, and eventually realized that I had writer's block. And until then, I'd never believed that there was such a thing as writer's block, because I just write so effortlessly most of the time that it just doesn't matter. But the point here is that I decided that I would go ahead and try the class just out of curiosity to find out what I would learn that would be helpful. And there were so many things that were appropriate for writers. For example, one of the things that we studied with neurolinguistic programming is the process of hypnosis and how that works. And basically, hypnosis is just learning to communicate with people on a deep emotional level so that they are interested in what you're talking about and are following it and tracking with you. And so a lot of what I learned in NLP really became quite important in my writing. And I'm developing entire new writing courses based around the idea that when you start writing a novel and you try to get a person interested in your story, you're really taking them deep into the story, and you're hypnotizing them. You are taking them to another world entirely and controlling everything that they see and hear and think and smell. And then, so that's part of what I found that was interesting. The other part was it really did help me just get over the writer's block on that one particular project. There's a number of techniques that you can use that will be helpful. One of them, for example, is reestablishing priorities. In our lives, we often have, we try to say, make everything a priority. My health is a priority. My education is a priority. My children come first. Oh, my job is important, et cetera, et cetera. And what happens is that sometimes certain things slide down the ladder and become less important to you than the other things. And so there are ways that you can use neurolinguistic programming to trick your mind so that you can reestablish your writing and that work as a priority. And that was really helpful. For many people, I've discovered that getting into the writing mindset where you are just seeing your story, you're living through it, and then just reporting on it, that's really difficult for a lot of new authors. And so there are techniques that we can learn in neurolinguistic programming that can teach you how to get out of the beta state, which is where your mind is most of the time when you're trying to think about a number of different things at once, and get down through the alpha state and into the theta state, where you are focusing deeply on what you're doing, and you're focusing so deeply that it becomes subconscious, and you are just acting at the very top of your form while you're writing. And so learning how to drop into that mindset has really been helpful. It taught me a lot about a lot of the unconscious processes that I was going through, but has made it conscious so that it's easier and quicker to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, David. Thanks for spending time with us today. So this was just a short intro to what David Farland, a proficient author, has been able to experience with neurolinguistic programming. So if this interests you guys, again, you can get in contact with us and you can be able to get your own story about how NLP is impacting you in your life. Thanks so much. Talk to you later.